Hello, my name is Francesca Janica, and today I will be doing a political speech on our two presidential candidates, Donald Trump and Joe Biden. We get on the internet and we see all this biased information, so no one really gets to decide for themselves who is the better candidate. And so, what I've gone and done is research their lives, their achievements, their just basically anything from the day they were born to now, and I will be sharing that with you. So I'm going to start with our president first. President Donald Trump was born on June 14th, 1946, which is also known as Flag Day. He was born in Queens, New York City, New York, to Frederick Christ Trump and Mary McLeod. Frederick Trump was a successful real estate developer, and he taught this to Donald too. Donald was also the fourth out of 5 children. His siblings' names are Mary Ann, Fred Jr., Elizabeth, and Robert. Mary Ann actually had served as a U.S. District Judge from 1983 to 1999, and then she later on became a U.S. Court of Appeals Judge for the Third Circuit until her retirement in 2011. And Freddie Jr. Had briefly worked for his father's business until he became an airline pilot in the 60s. And sadly, alcoholism had led to his early death in 1981 at the age of 43. Donald Trump had gone to several schools over the years, and these included the New York Military Academy from 1959 to 1964, a private boarding school, Fordham University in the Bronx from 1964 to 1966, and the University of Pennsylvania's Wharton School of Finance and Commerce from 1966 to 1968. He graduated from Wharton with a bachelor's degree in economics. In 1968, he was sadly told that he could not serve in the military due to a diagnosis of bone spurs. He worked for his father's company after graduation, and later in 1974, he became president of an organization that he later named Trump Organization. In 1996, Trump partnered with the NBC television network to purchase the Miss Universe organization, which not only produced the Miss Universe pageant, but Miss USA and Miss Teen USA beauty pageants. So now we're going to talk about Trump's wives. He's had 3 wives. His first wife was Ivana Trump. They married in 1977. Ivana was a New York fashion model who had been an alternate on the 1972 Czech Olympic ski team. She was named vice president in charge of design in the Trump Organization and played a major role in supervising the renovation of the Commodore and Plaza Hotel, which we know today as Trump Tower. They had 3 children together, Donald Trump Jr., Ivanka, and Eric. They went through a highly publicized divorce that was finalized in 1992. Trump's second wife is Marla Maples. They married in 1993, and she was an actress whom he had been involved with for a long time, and they had a daughter, Tiffany. They would file for divorce in 1997, and it would become final in June 1999 through a prenuptial agreement that allotted $2 million to Marla. And his current wife is a former Slovenian model, Melania Trump, who is more than 23 years his age. In 2005, the couple married in a highly publicized, lavish wedding. And among celebrity guests was former President Bill Clinton and former First Lady Hillary Clinton. And they have Barron Trump together. So, on November 8th, 2016, Trump was elected president in the largest electoral landslide for a Republican in 28 years. He won more than 2,600 counties nationwide. That's the most since President Ronald Reagan in 1984. And he received the votes of more than 62 million Americans, the most ever a Republican candidate has received. President Trump has delivered historic results in his first term in office despite partisan gridlock in the nation's capital and resistance from special interests and Washington establishment. He passed record-setting tax cuts and regulation cuts, achieved energy independence, and replaced NAFTA with the U.S.-Mexico-Canada agreement, and invested $2 trillion to completely rebuild the military and launch the Space Force. He obliterated the ISIS caliphate and achieved a major breakthrough for peace in the Middle East. And passed the most significant Veterans Affairs reforms in half a century, confirmed by over 250 federal judges, including 2 Supreme Court justices, and signed bipartisan criminal justice reform and lowered drug prices, protected Medicare and Social Security, and secured our nation's borders. Now we're going to talk about Joe Biden. Joe Biden, or Joseph Robinette Biden, is the 47th Vice President of the United States from 2009 to 2017. And he is the Democratic nominee for president in 2020. Biden was raised in Scranton, Pennsylvania, and Newcastle County, Delaware, and he received a bachelor's degree from the University of Delaware in 1965 and a law degree from Syracuse University in New York in 1968. During this time, he married Nelia Hunter, and the couple later had 3 children. After graduating from law school, Biden had returned to Delaware to work as an attorney before quickly turning to politics, serving on the Newcastle County Council. And that was from 1970 to 1972. He ran for Senate in 1972 and became one of the youngest U.S. senators of Delaware, and being at the age of 29. About a month later, his wife and infant daughter were killed in a car accident as 2 sons were seriously injured. Although he contemplated suspending his political career, Biden was persuaded to join the Senate in 1973, and he went on to win re-election 6 times, becoming Delaware's longest-serving senator. In 1977, he married Jill Jacobs, an educator, and they later on had a daughter. In addition to his role as U.S. Senator, Biden also was an adjunct professor from 1991 to 2008 at the Wilmington, Delaware branch of Widener University School of Law. So, Biden actually met his first wife, Nelia, on a spring trip to Bahamas. It is said that during his first 3 years of school, he really did not care about anything but sports and drinking, like parties, and women. That was what he was mainly known for at first, and then he met his first wife and everything changed for him. He was a mediocre law student and during his first year at Syracuse, and although he claimed it was an accidental oversight because he had flunked a class for failing to properly cite a reference to a law review article, he would eventually be haunted by that in his career. As I mentioned earlier, his wife had died a week before Christmas in 1972. They were getting a tree from a tree farm and got in a car accident. And Biden had actually traveled by train, first it was by car, then it was by train, to back and forth from Delaware and D.C. With his children. Later on, he made the NRA. He was on the NRA. The Sandy Hook elementary shooting happened. Then he lost his son after battling cancer. So what they had done was for that, they brought up this thing called cancer moonshot. And with that, they are trying to prevent cancer, diagnose it, and treat it within 5 years. And they're hoping to make it okay. He has also received the highest civilian honor in a ceremony at the White House. President Obama awarded Joe the Presidential Medal of Freedom with distinction. It is the nation's highest civilian honor. And shortly after that, he had head home, and now he is running for our president. So that is all the information I have on our 2 presidential candidates. And I hope this helps you make a clear decision on who you think is the best. Thank you.